2017. So all these counties going up. This is despite hundreds of millions of dollars to fight the crisis that's now raising questions about whether the strategies are effective. Do those numbers surprise you? And do they indicate one way or another whether we're getting any closer to solving the problem? You covered actually the issue a lot, navigation centers.
I do, exactly. And especially when you see the statistics for Alameda County, and that's where I live. So I'm seeing that just like everybody else in our area. And it makes you wonder, as you mentioned, these resources and all of these programs that pop up. Most recently, I did a story in Alameda County because the county says that half of homeless individuals in that area live in the city of Oakland. So they started this program so that people could sleep in the parking lots of churches there. I reached out to the pastor to see how that's going. And there are people participating, but maybe not at the numbers that we would like to see, you know. And then it also kind of makes you think, are there other factors here other than just not having a place to live? We know that mental illness is a huge issue in our area, and I was doing some research upstairs and saw this number. 41% of homeless say in San Francisco that mental health issues are the reason why they do not have
I gotta think cost of living is a big factor because a lot of that jump is due to more people living in their cars too, right?
And RVs, exactly.
Something that's interesting is that San Francisco has been pushing the navigation centers for a while, and I was reading this, I thought, really well-written article in Mission Local, and it was talking about how navigation centers are perhaps not as successful as the city has spun them to be. It said that not quite 1 in 6 land in permanent housing once they graduate from the navigation center.
That's not encouraging.
It's part of the solution, and it's certainly housing homeless. There's no question it's getting homeless people off of the streets and into temporary shelter. Whether they're actually getting into permanent shelter in the Bay Area is another question. A lot of them are being counted as not homeless anymore because they're leaving the Bay Area. They're taking that program where they get a bus ticket and they're able to go back home. Is that considered a success? I'm not sure. We don't really know what happens once they get home.
Look, even if they put some people on buses, I think more are actually coming. I was just on the East Coast where I was talking to people about the issue there, and they say they don't stay here. The homeless do not like to be there because there are, you know, severe winters, right? Our climate here is more hospitable to people who have to be on the street. So this is probably a question that's not going to go away anytime soon, but the multi-pronged approach is something we got to try, right?
Always, yeah.
Meanwhile, SB 50, which would have created more housing close to bar and bus stations, is now on hold, perhaps permanent hold. So that's frustrating all of the mayors in our major cities in the Bay Area. So
that's another hot topic in itself.
It is.
But that's part of the homeless solution.
That's, we'll have to ask you about that next.
So many layers to it, though,
Right, I know. We need more time, guys, but we have such a jam-packed show. So we got to see, how are you voting on this? Is homelessness a solvable crisis? Look how evenly split it is. 42% or 48% say no, 52% yes. Thanks for voting. We're going to keep that up for you, by the way, for the rest of the show, so you can keep voting and enter to win tickets to the Game of Thrones live concert experience.
Okay, so usually Jessica Castro is here on Fridays. Jovina, you did a great job. You're always invited back. But she's actually upstairs near our newsroom working on some moves. Jess?
Hi there, guys. Hey, no! I'm going to show you some quick self-defense moves that you can learn to help keep you safe right after our break.
All right. Jovina, you want to do the honors on this one?
Okay, what is an atmospheric river, you ask? Well, don't Google that, because we are launching a new segment that explains it all in a way you've never, ever seen before. Plus, your weekend forecast.
Oh, she is always ready.
Oh, yeah.
You go, girl.